I wanted to chat about post-Christmas tantrums. I don't know how your kiddos are feeling right now. Ayo, my daughter, she's almost 4. She is showing signs of being on the edge of a tantrum. So, it's understandable. Christmas time is a bit crazy, right? It's stressful for us. It is when we are stressed, our kids are stressed as well. It's also a lot of fun, and a lot of fun can be overwhelming as well. Christmas can be full of, well, not full, but there can be some disappointments as well around gifts and kids having big expectations and not all their expectations being met. They can be sad about leaving the family after a few days, right? And that whole crazy energy that is all around Christmas in general, well, it's making our kids feeling a bit stressed and overwhelmed as well, right? And when they are feeling like this, when they're feeling stressed or resentful or a bit angry or sad, well, all those emotions are playing in their bodies, right? And our kids, especially young kids, they're not just going to come to us and tell us, hey, mommy, I feel sad and resentful and angry about this, and right? They will show how they feel through their behavior. So what are the signs of our kids feeling a bit stressed or them having some pent-up feelings? Well, I can just look at my beautiful daughter. At the moment she's feeling agitated, so that's a sign of pent-up feelings. Feeling agitated, so going from one thing to the next and to the next and to the next and talking a bit loudly. And let me know if you relate to that, if your kids are a bit agitated right now. More agitation in the sleep as well, or taking much longer to fall asleep, or waking up in the middle of the night when they usually don't. This is a sign of pent-up feelings as well, feeling a bit stressed or overwhelmed. Aggression is another sign of pent-up feelings, right? When the child is heating, it's all the anger that is in his body trying to come out, but not in a very positive way. Pushing limits, not listening, doing the opposite of what you've asked, right? All these are signs that the child is feeling a bit overwhelmed, right? And Laura, you say, yes, this has happened to us today. I'm not alone. Yeah, it's very overwhelming for our kids, right? That whole Christmas thing, and for us as well. So it makes total sense. They might also want to just eat sweet food. If I had listened to Ayo today, she would just eat chocolate cake and chips, which is not sweet, but comfort food, because we do this too. When we're feeling a bit overwhelmed or stressed, we go for foods that make us feel better temporarily. So and she also had a sore belly, which it could be that she drank a lot of the pool's water, but it also can be a somatic sign of feeling a bit overwhelmed and sad and all that together. And so my body is showing signs of ouchie, right? So these are signs of pent-up feelings. And when our kids are holding on to pent-up feelings, they will try to find a way to let those feelings out. And they can do that through laughter, and I'm working on a beautiful, awesome and fun online course just about playful discipline, with lots of games, which is going to be awesome. But the other way they release pent-up feelings is through crying and raging, right? Especially all the sadness, the anger, the resentment, they often let it out through big rages and tantrums, right? And they need something to start the tantrum. So I want to invite you to keep an eye on those little pretexts that your child might find to start crying, right? And when I call that a little pretext, but this is not negative in any way. It's a very smart mechanism that their body will do to start crying, right? Because crying is a healing process. It's a healing mechanism that we are all born with. And when we feel stressed or overwhelmed, crying can help us feel more relaxed. So our child will unconsciously try to find a way to start releasing some stress, to start crying. So your child might start crying over any kind of little thing. You might give him the blue cup when he wanted the red one, or you put the blue pajamas but he wanted the green one, or you put butter on the wrong side of the bread. Like literally, it can be absolutely anything that can set your child for a big cry. And my recommendation when that happens is to embrace that crying. Right? Remember me, if your child is starting to cry on a little pretext, remember me, it's what we call the broken cookie phenomenon, right? That just a broken cookie will set your child for a big cry, and this is just a very smart mechanism that your child's body is using to release pent-up feelings, to release the stress, so he can feel better, he can feel more relaxed, right? So if you can embrace that moment, and just let your child cry over that broken cookie or over that green cup, this is great, right? And when I say let your child cry, I mean supporting him, being with him, not letting him alone, right? Being with him so he can feel supported and loved and his emotions are accepted. Right? When a child is crying with a compassionate listener, this is healing for him, right? So that's what I want to invite you to do, to stay with your child as long as you are feeling calm, and to actually work on that, to work on you staying calm. Remember that, don't take anything personally, because your child crying in that moment has very little to do with you, and try to stay calm so your nervous system is kind of down and your child can meet you there. He can calm down with you once he's finished offloading those feelings, right? So you can stay calm by grounding yourself, right? If you sit on the floor, trying to feel your bum on the floor, your hands, try to look around in the room. That might sound silly, but it's a very powerful tool to keep us in the present moment in the room. So, try this to stay in the present moment, right? I want you to remember, by the way, that I wrote a whole book about tantrums, right? It's called Tantrums Are Awesome. It's available on my website, mamamanon.com. You'll find it there if you want more information about that.